Alright guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and in this one we have so much to talk about. There has been some crazy things going around with the Sphere event that just happened, and with that we got a ton of changes like to the map, brand new challenges, so I'll be walking you through that and giving you guys a little bit of a guide on the challenges that we already have to work towards, as well as showing you guys like the 2 items that you can apparently unlock from these. Also, a new skin has been revealed. We just have so much to go over in today's video, guys. It is going to be a ton of fun. Now, real quick before we get into it, guys, big thanks to all of you who have been using my supporter creator code in the item shop. Again, that is TheLlamaSir, TheLlamaSir, and you put that in at the bottom right of the item shop. But big thanks to all of you guys who have been using that code. Reminder, it does reset every 2 weeks, so you do have to re-input it after that amount of time. But seriously, thanks to you guys a lot. But yeah, guys, be sure to hit that like button down below if you are hyped for all of this new stuff, and also comment, did you make it in-game for the event? Where did you land? I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. But yeah, let's jump into it. First of all, the first thing I want to talk about within this little like update and stuff like that, let's first just recap the event itself. In case you guys missed it, maybe you had stuff to do with family, maybe you just couldn't make it to your whatever you play Fortnite on, console, PC. Let's just recap what exactly happened, and then we'll get into like the changes and the challenges and stuff like that. But yeah, I was able to make it there for the event and also get a replay of it. I did get eliminated like halfway through, which is a little bit annoying, but either way, again, I got the replay. So yeah, but first of all, obviously we had the sphere with the Ice King inside of it. That's like what sort of happened more so yesterday. But then with this event, the first thing that happened was that the Ice King broke out of this sphere, which was definitely pretty interesting. I think we'll probably do a theory video about this coming up soon. But yeah, he broke out of this ice sphere, and then he had like this power. And also notice how he's like floating in the air, and then this giant version of the Ice King showed up behind him like over the water. It was like this projection of him or something like that, but it was this massive version of him that was replicating the moves that he was doing, just, you know, on this big magic thing scale projection. I'm not exactly sure what to call it, but it was pretty crazy. So he did that a little bit. He was doing like some different moves, maybe doing a spell, we don't exactly know. But then after that, when he was done doing it, he like pushes forward, does something like that, and sends a ton of like icy fog or whatever across the map. And as you can see here, it was pretty crazy. Like, it does cover the whole map. It made it really hard to see during this portion of the event. It was very, very crazy. Now, after the fog cleared, that was basically it for this event, you know, the actual like event itself happening. So yeah, it was definitely pretty interesting overall. And if you happen to miss it, there's the quick recap of what exactly happened. Now, let's jump into it with some of the changes that happened with this event and things like that. Now, first of all, the obvious, you know, step away from this is that the map changed. That is right, guys. The map is sort of back to that entirely covered in snow map that we got to see around Christmas time. It may be a little bit different, but it is for sure pretty crazy. I mean, again, it's completely covered in snow for this, you know, special period, but it is crazy. I honestly kind of like this version of the map. It's really, really cool. But yeah, on top of that, also there's some really dense like icy fog. I believe at nighttime, correct me if I'm wrong, it may not be nighttime, it may be something else, but certain times of day during your games, certain times it's a lot easier to see than other times. Like, again, an icy fog shows up and makes it a lot harder to see. It honestly reminds me a lot of Fortnitemares, and this event does draw quite a few similarities to Fortnitemares. But yeah, just a heads up, the map is covered, and also there's like some icy fog that shows up, making it a little bit hard to see here and there. Now, speaking of like this event itself, if you go into your game modes, you'll see that, you know, there's Ice Storm solo, duos, and squads, which was similar to like how Fortnitemares did it. You had the special game modes for that. There's also a regular squads as well, which is something to take note of. But yeah, the Ice Storm game modes are now here, and the special thing about them, or like the main special thing about them, is the Ice Legion. And this sort of will lead me into the challenges, and we'll talk about like the items and the best way to go about doing the challenges that we already have available. But as you may guess, some of them have to do with the Ice Legion, which again is very similar to the, I believe they were called Cube Fiends from Fortnitemares. As you can see right here, here's some of the Ice Legion, I believe. I'm not exactly sure which of them is called what, but I do believe that you have 3 variants. And you know what, before we even talk about that, these will spawn at these ice things. Not exactly sure what you would call them, but these spawn around the map. So they just spawn, you know, throughout the game, I believe. But when these spawn and you get near to to them, they will then spawn, you know, some of these Ice Legion enemies that will attack you. Now, first of which you have like the basic variant, which is very easy to take down. It doesn't have much health, doesn't do anything special, so that is the more basic variant. Those should be pretty easy to handle. Now then, there's one that looks similar to this, but it's a little bit brighter, but this actually has a special ability, and it can throw these things at you that will do damage. So when these ones show up, you do want to be a bit careful because, you know, they can attack you at range, and at first it does catch you off guard. You don't expect them to throw stuff at you, but it is pretty cool overall, to be honest. And then for the third of these, I don't believe there's any more, but it's the sort of bigger version, and these guys just have more health. They may do more damage, not 100% sure about that, if that's true or not, but either way, guys, those are the new enemies. So yeah, let's jump into it now with the challenges and like better ways to go about doing these challenges. But first of all, let's just recap like what you can get from these challenges. Now, the first thing that you will see probably if you take a look at these challenges is this glider right here. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this glider is called, but it is a crazy looking glider, as you can see. Very, you know, Ice King themed, and definitely pretty epic. Now, the way that you get that, I believe, is completing all 13 challenges from the Ice Storm challenges. So, you know, you will have to go through and complete them. I believe there are 13. Definitely doable, but that is how you unlock that, it seems. Now, on top of that, there is also a new wrap that you can get, and it looks pretty sick. It's a little bit hard to tell. The little icon for it is pretty small within the challenges, but it's like a black and light blue weapon wrap that definitely looks pretty interesting. I'm excited to get that. Now, for that one, you have to complete Ice Storm challenges. You have to complete 6 of them. That should be pretty straightforward and pretty easy. But yeah, I'm excited to get that and try it out. Now, as for the other challenges, it seems they reward 500 XP each, and there's a bunch of them that are going to unlock as the event goes on. As you can see right here, this is just how it looks on January 19th as I'm putting up this video, but you can just check within your Ice Storm challenges to see like updated times depending on when you're looking at them. But yeah, now let's go ahead and get into it with like the best way to do the 2 main challenges that we can go for in game right now. The first of which is to destroy Ice Fiends. Now, this one is pretty straightforward, but there are a couple of things about it that I think you guys should know. The first of which is that I believe the Ice Fiends is that like basic version. When I went into game, it only awarded me for this challenge for when I eliminated those basic versions of the enemies, or of the Ice Legion to be specific. So something to keep in mind, guys. You can try eliminating some of the other ones, but just be aware that it's probably these ones right here. I believe these may be called the Ice Fiends, and the other ones may have different names similar to Fortnitemares. But again, we're not 100% sure yet. It's just something to keep in mind. Now, the other thing about this is obviously you're going to need to find these spawners. Now, finding them isn't exactly difficult, but it's a little bit random. I do believe they spawn randomly, and in fact, when they do spawn in the match, you'll hear a sound generally if one's close to you, and you'll also be able to see like a thing of lightning in the air above it, so that will let you, you know if one's nearby, and then you can run near it. Now, personally, I think the better way to do this is to drop somewhere where not a lot of other players are, and where there's also a lot of open space. That way you can see where these are spawning, and then go close up to them, continue to fight off the Ice Legion, and destroy Ice Fiends until you get up to 250. Now, moving on to the next challenge after that, you have deal damage with explosive weapons to the Ice Legion. Now, again, the Ice Legion is just the monsters overall. At least I'm pretty sure, and this one is pretty easy. Like, I just went in to, again, test it out a little bit. I found some dynamite, just tossed it at some of the Ice Legion, and I got damage points towards this challenge. Again, you need 5,000, but that's really not that much. Now, along with that, something to keep in mind is that sometimes they will drop items, and some of those items can be explosive ones, and then you can pick those up and use them to get even more of these points done. So just a little tip there for that. This one is pretty straightforward as well, and you can also use the similar tips I said for the first one, which is to maybe find a more quiet area of the map, maybe loot somewhere nearby, and then find one of these and start working on those challenges. But yeah, guys, and then again, you also have the complete Ice Storm challenges, which is 6 of them, but you're going to have to wait a little bit for other Ice Storm challenges to unlock before you can complete that one. Now, then after that, guys, for the final thing I want to talk about in this video, that is a new skin and also a new pickaxe that was revealed to us in the news page and also just on Fortnite's Twitter, I believe. Now, this skin may or may not be in the shop as you're watching this. At least I'm assuming it's a shop skin. I guess I can't say for sure yet. Again, I'm posting this video before the shop will have updated for today, so maybe it'll be in there. But again, I don't even know if it will be in the shop. We just know that this has been revealed, and I believe it is called the Icy Tempest. I'm not 100% sure because that is just based off of the little news thing that showed up in-game. When you clicked news, you saw this image, and also it said below, take on the Icy Tempest. But either way, this skin itself is pretty interesting because it seems to be the female version of the Ice King. It has a very similar design, and I mean, it just seems to fit in with that pretty well. Now, on top of that, I'm also very interested in this pickaxe right here. I don't believe we've ever seen it before, but that is a pretty interesting one. That is for sure. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see how this is released. If it does happen to show up in the item shop and you guys decide to get it, be sure to use code TheLlamaSir if you want to help support me. But either way, it's just some interesting news. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more fun videos like this coming out in the near future. On top of that, you can check out some of my previous videos here, such as on the left, my week 7 challenges guide, and then on the right, some update news and stuff like that. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one.